of the Senate Committee on Appropriations on the 2022 Appropriation Bill, SB 829. Introduction. The 2020 Appropriation Bill was presented and laid before a joint sitting of the National Assembly on Thursday, the 7th of October 2021, by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. The budget is Christian budget of economic recovery and sustainability. The bill contains estimates of revenue and expenditure of Federation for the 2022 fiscal year in aggregate sum of 16 trillion 391 billion 23 million 917,692 naira only, and was made up of 1. Statutory transfer 768.275 billion, debt service 3.9 trillion, recurrent non-debt expenditure 6 trillion 0.829 billion, capital expenditure 4.891 trillion. Mr. President, let's take action that took place. The Senate debated on the general principle of the bill on Tuesday, the 12th day to Wednesday, 13 October 2021, read it the second time, and consequently refer same to the committee for further legislative action. In view of the short time of 4 weeks given to the committee to process the bill and report back to the Senate, a work plan was drawn to guide the processing of the bill, which was approved by the National Assembly leadership. The committee engaged the chairman of the subcommittees on Monday, 18 October 2021, on the approved calendar. Relevant guidelines were provided to them for the processing of the bill and were urged to strictly adhere to it in order to ensure a seamless process. In line with the Senate Standing Order 92, subsection 4, subcommittees were given both the hard and soft copies of the schedules of the budgetary proposal under their jurisdictions for detailed consideration. In the same vein, the subcommittees, on conclusion of their works on the 2022 budget engagement through defense with MDAs under their jurisdictions, submitted and defended their reports before the Appropriations Committee from Wednesday, the 10th day of November to Friday, the 15th day of November 2021. Most of the subcommittees complained for inadequate provision of funds, decline budgetary allocation to the MDAs under their jurisdictions. Revenue projection for 2022 budget. In preparing this budget report, the committee relied on the Medium Term Expenditure Framework through Fiscal Strategy Paper approved by the National Assembly as shown below. I don't need to read that, as I has clearly stated in the report. The highlight of the 2022 Appropriation Bill. The 2022 Appropriation Bill contains the following highlights. Aggregate expenditure, 17.126 trillion. Statutory transfer, 869 billion. Recurrent expenditure, 6.9 trillion. Capital expenditure, 5.4 trillion. Debt service, 3.8 trillion. Observation and recommendation. The committee, while processing the bill, observed the following. 1. Special intervention as a result of increase in oil price benchmark from $57 to $62 per barrel. 2. Provision of more funds to critical sectors to enable them to execute most of their core mandates. 3, that there will be more stimulation of the economy with more capital expenditure that will provide more infrastructural development in the country. 4, an increase in revenue that shall accrue to government-owned enterprises, GOEs, as a result of an independent report received from the investigation carried out on them by the Senate and House Committees on Finance. 5, the deficit was increased by 98 billion to include some other requests made by the executive arm of government to take care of some projects of national importance which were not provided in the submitted budget estimate and could not be covered by the increase in revenue. Recommendations. 1, the increase in oil benchmark from $57 per barrel to $62 per barrel to reflect the current market value in the international markets. 2, the committee recommends that the additional revenues discovered should be provided to the following agencies that forwarded their request for more funding for very critical projects: Works and Housing, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for the 2023 general elections, Defense, and the National Appropriations Commission, NPC, for the 2022 population census. 3, a net 8 billion naira increase in deficit should be approved to take care of some of the additional requests from the executive arm of government. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, having thoroughly examined the reports and recommendations of the subcommittees on appropriations, the committee hereby recommends the consideration and approval of the bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Fund of the Federation of the sum of 17 trillion 126 billion 873 million 917,692 naira only, of which 869 billion 667 million 187,542 naira only is for statutory transfers. 3 trillion 879 billion 952 million 981,550 naira only, and 50 naira only is for debt service. 6 trillion 909 billion 849 million 788,737 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 5 trillion 467 billion 403 million 959,863 naira only is for contribution to development for capital expenditure for the year ending on 31st day of December 2022. Conclusion. On behalf of the Appropriations Committee, Mr. President, I wish to thank the Senate President, the entire leadership of the Senate, the chairman and membership of our subcommittees for their cooperation and understanding in timely processing of this bill. Thank you, Mr. President. I so submit.
Any comments? A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 17 trillion 126 billion 873 million 917,692 naira only, of which 86 billion 667,187,542 only is for statutory transfers. 3,879,952,981,550 naira only is for debt service. 6,909,849,788,737 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 5,467,403,959,863 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for Capital Expenditure for the year ending on the first day of December 2022. Third reading taken, and the bill is hereby passed. Congratulations to the entire Senate. Let me commend our committees, all our special and standing committees, for working so hard to enable us once again, back to back, pass the budget before the Christmas break.